Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sports Today. You are live with me, Rajesh Gupta, and today is a special panel. We are just hours away from that Euro 2020 final. Is it coming home for England? Is it coming home for the Three Lions? Redemption moment for Gareth Southgate. A lot of stories around Jordan Pickford and Raheem Sterling. What this title could mean for a very, very young England team. Nobody expected them to reach this far, and panache and domination that they have made it to the final. Of course, the Italians, what will it mean to Chileni? What will it mean to Bonucci? Well, they are the senior stars, the superstars of this team. They've been the backbone, pillar of the success. And of course, earlier in the day, much earlier in the day, if you're in India, you saw Argentina triumph 1-0 over Brazil. Heartbreak there for Neymar, but again, a moment of reckoning for Lionel Messi, one of the two greatest footballers of this era, always drawing parallels with Cristiano Ronaldo, who had, of course, won a major international title in 2020, but that was eluding Messi until he laid his hands on the Copa America title for Argentina. I have with me a panel which will really please you. Of course, Chinmoy and Shuman, the usual suspects on Sports Today, and with me, Raju Gaikwad, India football star. He's, of course, witnessed the Copa America final. He's, of course, also tuned in for the Euro. Thank you so much, first of all, Raju, for joining us on Sports Today. It's a pleasure to have you. It's really excited to have you over. We'll of course talk about the Euro. We'll talk about all the drama that has happened around England, Italy, the pressure that the Three Lions will be under. But a word first on Lionel Messi, what this title could be. You are a football star yourself. When a player of that stature lifts a title after it's eluded him for so long, and also a word for Neymar, you could really feel for him. Brazil, I personally thought, I mean, a lot of us would have probably also thought that they were by far the best team in the tournament. They were also very, very competitive in that final. But that Di Maria win on the 22nd minute just sealed the fate there for the Brazilians, and Argentina were victorious. But two great players on the pitch, different emotions, contrasting emotions. And before you take that, also that moment when Neymar hugged Messi, and Messi sort of, put the Argentinian team at bay because they were celebrating. They did not want to ruin that solemn moment for Neymar. Your first thoughts on the Copa America final early this morning?
Yeah, first of all, good evening to everyone, and nice to be here with you all in this show. And as you said about Messi, Neymar, uh, the major trophy you have discussed, you have told about Cristiano Ronaldo. I was really happy today, this morning, for Messi, especially because, like a big star like Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, as a fan, we had expectation, like, no, like, yeah, they need a major tournament. So as you have told, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo have received a major tournament, and yeah, and everyone was thinking, yeah, Messi will be this morning getting a major tournament. So I was really happy. Messi got a major tournament, and yeah, in the other side also, yeah, it was two big player was there, Neymar, Messi. I know it was a great match. So I was really happy for Messi for getting the major tournament.
But also tell me, Raju, we've had this debate on Sports Today a couple of weeks back on Ronaldo versus Messi because this is such a hot topic. This is such an emotional topic for a lot of football fans, especially. Does this make a difference? Neither of them has won the World Cup. Messi came close in 2014, but Ronaldo has the Euro in 2016. 5 years later, Messi picks up the Copa America title. He was 7 years old when Argentina last won that South American championship. But does this really, mean that the battle is now absolutely level, or will a World Cup triumph next year for either of these just put one of them at a different level? Do you think that makes a difference, or do you think that both Messi and Ronaldo have that space in modern day football as two giants who have shaped the game in a way that we never thought would be possible after the days of Pele and then later on Maradona from there on?
Yeah, of course. Messi and Ronaldo, we believe they are a legend of football in this generation. They are a legend, and both of them, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, have got a major tournament, one, and I think this will be their Euro first last Euro, and the coming World Cup will be their last World Cup. So I believe they have in the world football, they have both of them, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, given like a great example for the youngsters for lots of players and contribution they have given in the whole football. So
Yeah.
yeah, I believe in the coming World Cup, Argentina has won the Copa America, so that will be a really motivating thing for the upcoming World Cup.
Mhm.
So as you have seen, Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal, they did good in the this Euro also, and I believe yeah, they will be doing both of the team will be doing in this upcoming World Cup.
Right. No, absolutely. The central figures to their campaign, Shimon, Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal, he scored all those goals. Lionel Messi, in fact, was the top scorer, by far the best player in the Copa America this season, rewarded adequately. And it was like Argentina really rallied their forces for Messi, and what a moment that was. But what did you think of, Chinma and I, early this morning, we were discussing the Copa America final. You could understand that heartbreak for Brazil. I don't know how many of you are ardent Argentina fans, Chinmoy and I for sure, but you'll feel that pain. You'd feel that pain for Brazil. They played so well. They were so enigmatic on the field. Yes, we discussed it wasn't the usual South American tussle. It wasn't as fluent. There were certain changes in the game. Brazil, they were really formidable with their defense. But you got to feel for them. That 22nd minute, Di Maria came and made all the difference, opened it up. And also a word on Tite. We were discussing that. Is he sometimes, let's just put it bluntly, is he sometimes too stubborn? And was he a little too late in opening up Neymar and letting him play with the freedom that he has right through this final against a team like Argentina?
Honestly, before starting it up, I mean, Raju, being an ardent Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal fan, praising Argentina and Messi, it's a lovely scene. No? But yeah, coming back to it, I mean, of course, I mean, in Kolkata, you know it pretty well. I mean, like, um, I mean, this is the Makkah of Indian football, and it gets split into halves. One part Brazil, one part Argentina. I mean, hardly 99% of the football loving people slept it last night. So they were waiting eagerly. So two things can make them awake uh, throughout the night. One is Mahalaya, and the second part is the Brazil and Argentina match. And that is what
Yes.
exactly happened. Brilliant, brilliant game. What we witnessed, honestly, I mean, Argentina played like a European nation. After a long, long while, it was full of power. The way they pressed today in the morning, I haven't seen a South American team pressing so hard. In all South American battle. Di Maria, I mean, it's not just about yesterday's game. Today's game. I mean, Di Maria has made some significant contributions every time when he came on as a substitute or it started for Argentina this Copa America. So great tell, and it's a massive thing for Argentina. I mean, as we were just discussing yesterday as well, what it meant for Lionel Messi, we all know. I mean, we saw the way he was making FaceTime calls to his family, enjoying things around. Uh, we might say like major tournaments doesn't matter for champions like Lionel Messi, but indeed it matters. His reaction meant it matters. So, but just to make one thing, like Cristiano Ronaldo has two major titles: UEFA Nations League, he's the reigning champion for Portugal, and one is the Euro Cup. So, in fact, two major tournaments for Cristiano Ronaldo, one for Lionel Messi. Raju, it's for you.
Yeah, of course. But I know I'm a Cristiano fan, and I am a big fan of Brazil also in the same time. But I was really happy for Messi because we know they are a legend. Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi. I believe they deserve the trophy. So I was really happy in the other way also.
Right. No, and we've discussed that, haven't we? What is that going to mean to both these players and these teams when they head to that World Cup next year? That could really,
Correct.
will that be the telling difference? And Chinmay and we had this discussion. And I know Chinmay has been super elated. When we were doing the show early this morning, he wanted to watch that trophy moment, and it was beautiful, Chinmay, to watch that unfold, watch what we saw. And Shimon is right that you could argue at one level that a trophy really doesn't matter, but then of course it shows. Same thing with Lionel Messi at the twilight of his career. Sachin Tendulkar at the twilight of that career. I was there at the Wankhede. I know what his emotions were. He was absolutely overwhelmed with what happened after the Mahendra Dhoni's, after the sixth. It does mean the world to these players. Also, demands have started getting loud over another Ballon d'Or for Lionel Messi. Fans over the world, Argentina Lionel Messi fans, they're like, why not another Ballon d'Or for him? Now this is just sort of, this is it. Let's give it to him.
Yes, I'll start on a very high pitch. I could see the low ebb. I could see that the very tone of both. Raju is, of course, the first time. Shuman, very timid, very low, because he predicted that. He said that Brazil, there's no match. Argentina, I said that. Now, see, it very much reflects, signifies the guy is very low. For me, Messi, as Leo Scaloni said, that irrespective whether he lifts a trophy or not, he remains a great player. And I counter Suman. He said that Cristiano has got 2 trophies. Messi under 23 Olympic. Under 23 Olympic in 2008 and Beijing, he won it. So he has 2 trophies, right? Cristiano Ronaldo, what?
FIFA recognition.
What? Olympic?
Yeah, FIFA doesn't recognize Olympics.
Fine. I agree. I don't know. I agree. But the second fact is Cristiano Ronaldo didn't get to a World Cup final. Don't take it away. Even reaching a World Cup final is great enough. So you have to understand that, right? So that's, I mean, even Stevens in both ways. Now, I come back one more thing, which I said in the morning, right? Di Maria, really, he made a difference. The solo run he made against Colombia, I was really stunned because Scaloni got a lot of flack. Why Di Maria is in? He's a spent force. Now, today also, for me, really, Brazil. So we were breaking down what is the difference, what made it possible. I think that it was the so-called wanted defense of Brazil, right? That made a blunder. When that deep ball, he fed that ball, long ball, and there's a mess up in the defense, right? And then Di Maria with a very cool head, just put it in the back of the net. Now here, one more thing has been exposed, that Brazil, not exposed, really, fact, both in their own turf, the World Cup, and here they faltered. So is it a home turf pressure that they're not being able to take? Or could Messi motivate themselves? Is it the resurgence of a new Argentina under Scaloni because they're having a good run, 19 to 20 matches, they're unbeaten, right? They're known as they're faltering in the last hurdle, which you don't see really. So coming to the Qatar World Cup, I think Argentina is going well ahead like Italy. They will be a force to reckon with. Whereas Neymar didn't get the support from the midfield, I thought, because he seemed to be in one-man army. Messi, to an extent, I would not say wholly, because the whole possession of the ball belonged to Brazil. But I thought that Messi got enough support from Di Maria. It was not Messi. And the only last thing, Rajoshi and we agreed, is the fact that after at the end of the day, also Leo Messi is a human being. That error you made, the goal, okay, but at the same time, the all-time great Diego Maradona, I said that this one he used to do. He must have been laughing from there. Had he been alive, he would have been in the gallery. I just tell you one small anecdote. After he passed away, one Spanish journalist said that he was in Cuba with Maradona. How much is passion for Argentina? Maradona was wearing a tie and a blazer and everything, sitting watching an under 21 match of Argentina. Argentina won, and wearing all this, he jumped into the pool. So this is when he said that he's crazy, but being way he said, I am really, really crazy. So Messi is carrying that torch from Diego Maradona. Maradona must be smiling from there.
Absolutely, he must have had a cigar from the heavens as well. He just lit up a cigar and said, "This is one for the boys." Raju. But before we move to the Euro final, yeah.
One more thing I want to add to it. I think this is a matter of pride for all the Indian football fans as well. Like in 2018, Lionel Scaloni was the head coach of the Argentina under-23 national team, alongside, and his assistant was Pablo Aimar. India defeated Argentina under-20 team 2-1. Deepak Tangri scored in the 4th minute, and then Anwar Ali scored from a blinder of a free kick. From that Argentine team, 7 players played for Argentina in the Copa final. It's a matter of pride. And hats off to all the players who are part of that particular team in the Copa Cup.
No, absolutely, and that's a very important, interesting point that you made there, Shumon. But before we move to the Euro final tonight, Raju, I was just about to come to a question, and Shubroto made the exact same point. Well, he's maybe being a little extreme here. He's asking us, will be highly surprised if any Latin American team makes it past the quarterfinal stage in the Qatar World Cup. What I wanted to ask you was, having watched the Euro 20, having watched Copa America this time, parallelly the two tournaments, do you somehow think that European football is much more competitive at this stage? Look at the last four. Look at Denmark, how they've made a comeback, and you look at the last four of the Copa America. Do you think that European football is better spread out, that there is more balance in the teams, especially with the way Denmark have come up, especially with the way England have come up with that inexperienced team? You somehow feel that there is more stature there.
Yes, of course. As we have seen, I have seen from the starting also the group games, everything. So as we have seen Hungary also, we have seen Hungary how they were in the toughest group, and we believe they have played a wonderful game with three top teams. So I believe, yeah, Denmark, Hungary, and lots of teams were there in Euro. So I believe this tournament, this Euro was amazing. Like all the teams, like Switzerland, Denmark, lots of teams. Like they have played amazing games, like all in Euro Cups. So yeah, I believe this Euro was like something different for me.
And what would you like to see around England? Because this is England versus Italy. I know Chinmoy was highly excited about England. Whether he said, I did not want England to qualify. He wanted to see probably Denmark take on Italy in the final. But then these have been the two best teams. Italy, England. Jordan Pickford has been phenomenal. Gareth Southgate has been a tremendous boss. First off, what would it mean for Gareth Southgate if he wins this tonight? 1996. Go back to that Euro quarterfinal there where he missed that penalty. He's of course, he'd be looking for redemption, and also some of
Small
the younger players.
interruption.
Yes,
Small interruption. UEFA is Undeclared England Football Association. UEFA, Undeclared England Football Association.
for our viewers, for our viewers' sake, we'll have to do a Chinmoy versus Shumon debate someday on a couple of aspects, including the VAR and DS. Because Raju, you were not here yesterday. There was a heated discussion about the VAR movement as well, when England got that penalty. So we'll have to get Raju involved in that as well, since he must have had his own interpretation of that. But this is going to be that moment of reckoning for Gareth Southgate as well, Raju. After that 1996 experience, and you know how passionate they are about football in England. And also a word on Jordan Pickford. He's come a long way. 27, 26, 27-year old, set to win the Golden Gloves award. Threatened, he got death threats not too many years back in that tussle. So it's going to be there's a lot riding. There's a lot riding around the England team going into.
Yeah, first of all, I believe it's a great achievement for a coach and for a players, as we have no after 1966 now they have reached the final, and as they are playing in Wembley, so the crowd are there behind them. So I believe it will be a pressure and it will be a great game and a fun, as I believe. So yeah, it's a great moment for England, for the players. I know Suman, he wants the trophy. Yeah, but yeah, England, this Euro, England has been really good. So yeah, yeah, as Italy also, it will be a great game today. So it will be pressure for Italy also, as they know they are in Wembley, and it will be the fans, the crowd will be behind England. So it will be an amazing game today.
Right. Shuman, it is also about a story, right? Raju, he's speaking from a player's perspective. He knows the pressure and the expectations of fans around any sport, and this is the Euro final. It's a massive sport. Raju has himself experienced the pressure of expectations, but understandably, the pressure will be on both teams, more so on England. You know why? But then there is also story within a story. There's a story around Jordan Pickford or Gareth Southgate, Harry Kane himself, who's equal Gary Lineker's record, and also around Raheem Sterling. Spare a thought about that young man. He's been subject to racism. He's had it difficult. He's had a difficult career in England. He's really made his mark. He's molded himself. Just think of that moment around these England players, such young talents and powerhouses of European talent just coming to the fore. This is absolutely their moment to cherish tonight.
Of course. In fact, in the afternoon, I was having a chat with Mark Jackson, the under 23 head coach of Leeds United, Andy Cooper, youth development head of Leeds United, and Steve Jones, the sports scientist of Liverpool. All of them were literally jumping in expectations that it's coming home. And they were just like, it's deafening if you go outside your place. Because everywhere, the roads are full of England colors, actually. Even the cricketers, they are posting pictures with Gareth Southgate. Like Ewan Morgan, we have already seen that. He has already tweeted a picture greeting him. It's a festival going out over there in England. After 1966, first time in a massive, massive state. And that also, I mean, the fans can witness in their naked eyes. We played in Wembley. Two or three things which I want to make take into consideration today. I mean, in terms of the weather, it will be different in England. Jack Grealish made a statement. It's overwhelmingly, I mean, chilled over here in England. That might create kind of a problems for both the teams' perspective. Second part is like we all saw. We talk about the expectations, the pressure of the fans. First 10 minutes would be very, very crucial. I think Raju would be agreeing with me on this point as well. The team who won't be able to settle down in the first 10 minutes would be in severe amount of pressure. We saw Jordan Pickford, he maintained 5 clean sheets out of 6 matches. He just conceded 1 goal and that too from a set piece. But in every big game, he always seems to be in severe amount of pressure and he panics. We saw that happening over there against Denmark as well. Every time when, I mean, he was making some major mistakes over there. I mean, throw-ins, I mean, making saves, he was making fumbles. So every sorts of things were happening. So it's not just because England is playing at Wembley, they'd be in a better position in terms of holding the trophy. On the flip side of it, Italy, the last 10 matches which they played over there in England, they trembled, especially because of the English fans. Yes, they were the reasons why Denmark, against Denmark, few of the English players fumbled, struggled a little bit in terms of the confidence level under pressure. But when the second half started off, these fans were the reasons why England came back into the game. They were playing as a 12th man. And that thing once again would be happening over there. These English players know how big it means. These Italian players know how big it means. They couldn't qualify in 2018 World Cup. It's a massive statement which they can make over here. And at the same time, England, they can show why their league is best in the world, why the best players are there in the English side, why there are an abundance of talents. It's a massive, massive occasion. And I'm sure it's not just about England fans. It's not just about Italian fans. Football fans across the globe would be eagerly watching tonight's game because of different reasons altogether. It's a football festival which will be happening tonight.
And it's also a test of character for both players and fans. Remember what happened with Kasper Schmeichel there. They were fined 30,000 euros almost for that laser point. Chinmoy. By the way, before we get
I have a point over here. I asked this question to Steve Jones, in fact. How do you take it? You are in English. How do you take it? And his response was like, there were 60,000 fans. 59,999 people were sober. Just because there was one bad guy over there, you cannot blame the entire 59,999. That was his point.
Right. Yes. Fair enough. I mean, you'd have all sorts, in a fan. You have all sorts in the stadium, not just in football, but elsewhere as well. Chinmay, though, but the prediction for tonight, the forecast is, yes, it's going to go 70 degrees Celsius. It's going to be nippy. It's going to be a little nip in the air. But also, there's a forecast for a heavy drove of flying insects. There are going to be those. There's those probably some occupational hazards as well of playing at Wembley. You'll have that. But we're talking of pressure. Shumon mentioned rightly, that Wembley crowd could act as the 12th man for the Three Lions, but also that could act as double pressure. And the Italians, they don't have that pressure of playing at home. Playing at home, playing such a big final at home has its flip sides. It could motivate you, but again, a crowd like Wembley could also weigh down the host. That pressure will always remain.
Yes, it's a double-edged sword, but I have got some stats which will disappoint Suman. Okay, the first stat is that not a single team has won a Euro in their home soil, right? So that's something that will be, and that is not. I mean, this is in last 4 decades, not always, not always. So Suman, don't lose too much of heart. In last 4 decades, no, not a single team has won Euro in their home soil. Now, the second disappointing fact, last time I said sports tracker, which was obviously wrong in the prediction, the supercomputer. But this time, to make my prediction better, I have got from Stat Performer one more supercomputer that's come up in Daily Mirror in England. It says 58.7% chance of Italy winning and 41.3% chance of England winning. It has come on the heels of performance of Italy. They have 33 unbeaten streak of unbeaten runs, and they are about to, overtake Brazil when they did it in 1993 to 96, when they have 35 consecutive unbeaten matches, and also Spain in 2007 to 9, right? So that's quite a bit of a stat. Since 2018, these guys are invincible. So I think that will hurt Suman a bit. The next one about the weather and all these things, right? He was talking about. I've been to Italy also, luckily. So the weather-wise, they are used to the chill, and when it's cold, more oxygen in the air. Okay, so these countries are used to, chilly conditions, so that will not affect. And from the fitness perspective, that's the most important. In the first show, I said that taking into account the last year's whole time there on the park, the English Premier League is a bit longer in duration. So it's not that the Italians will be having tired legs coming off their Serie A, also England team. Now, one expert has given a comment that it is from the size of the Italy, the two defenders, Bonucci and Chiellini. They say that the old-fashioned defenders, Chiellini is called the grandfather of defense, right? So they are very solid in defense, and if you compare with Harry Maguire and his fellow, it's quite even Stevens, disappointing Suman again. But if you, except for Barella, the expert says there are not as many tired legs, though Chiellini is 36. Also, Bonucci very experienced. They have got 100 plus matches. And so far as experience is concerned, again, I don't know, my friend, really, it's a battle going on. Italy is hugely experienced, right? This is their second Euro final. They have got 4 World Cups under their bag. So it's not that the Italian team of 2006 is playing in 2021, but a country that has the experience of pulling it through. It has got that in their blood. When Brazil plays, there are 5 World Cups. They know how to make out of it. So Italy has got an edge over here. It's not that they're going to win, but they know how to pull it through. Of course, Mancini is there. Roberto Mancini, the most well-dressed, well-attired. That's what we go through, having a beautiful tie. So he will orchestrate his team like that. Okay, one more thing I end up. The meme, that Superman meme, I said, no, that Spain versus Italy. Because Italy is replicating a style of 2010 of Spain. Okay, tiki-taka. So there, Mancini said it is not exactly an imitation of tiki-taka, because they are called the Spider-Man who imitated, right? They're called the imposter. The imposter won against Spain. Now the English press is saying, will the imposter win again in the final? So that's a query, really. And Mancini has come up with the statement, see, don't call us imitating. This is my way of taking it. I'm playing a direct football. I've come out from that Italian old-fashioned ultra-defensive. The ball comes from deep defense to the midfield through to up front. So, Suman, I don't know really what is there in stake, but the odds are heavily stacked against England. Can Gareth Southgate pull it through? Raju will be better to answer it.
No, and I want to take this to Raju. Sorry, Shuman, I just want to take this to Raju as well. Before we go on into close in on England, it's just that it's going to be interesting, Raju, for that battle as well. I think Shuman was also trying to refer to that point around what Chinmoy mentioned. The odds heavily stacked against England because of the experience factor. But you look at Raheem Sterling, right? Uh, that man had a pretty ordinary season with City. He's been in absolute top gun form for England in this tournament, probably reckoning for the player of the tournament for all you know. But that pace, his pace will also be, that's something you'd want to watch out against Kileni and Bonucci. You'd want to see how the Italian defense comes up against Raheem Sterling. And also before Shubman comes in, Italy had an off, they were looking way off in that semi-final, but they're probably their experience and the players they pulled it off in the in the shootout. The second question is, do you think if it goes to a shootout, do you think Italy are more suited? Are they be more calm under pressure to pull this one through? Does that matter? That is that also separate preparation that goes on mentally, Raju?
Yeah, as we have seen both the teams, England and Italy. As you were telling about Sterling, as you have seen, as we have seen an England team. So most of the players individually performance really great in the Premier League. They are really doing very well, and as we have seen, Bonucci, Chiellini, and the whole team of Italy, they are well experienced, and as Chinmay sir have told, they has a trophy, 4 World Cups, and England. This is their first in the final, first trophy in the final. Yeah. So, yeah, I know Italy have experience in this situation. They have been in the final, semi-final. They know the situation, how to come out from there. So, yeah, it will be for England a pressure in the same time to be in the final. Yeah, so I have seen the statement of Mancini. So he have told, yeah, we will be having a pressure, great pressure in Wembley. But yeah, in the same time, if we have a fun and enjoy the game, it will be a great thing for Italy. So yeah, it will be again. I have said it will be a great match, and yeah, I believe as for me, Portugal was the first for me, and the second was Italy. Yeah, I know it's as Suman has said, it is a great thing for England in Wembley in England to take the trophy, and it will be like a festival for them. Yeah, I believe it will be a great thing for the players and for everyone. So as for as I discussed for in the game, so you have seen England, Italy. They are really well in attack, in defense, in midfield. They are really organized team. So as we have seen the semi-final with Denmark, England played. So yeah, it was Denmark was good, but I believe Denmark was not lacking in attacking, because if you see in the extra time, when they went to the extra time in the second half, they were trying to control the game. They were keeping the ball. They were trying, but I believe in that experience, Denmark was lacking it there. So I believe Italy knows much better. Like in, they are having a plan. Maybe they are well experienced in all the position. So yeah, it will be very tough for England in this game, because they have faced Germany, Denmark, tough teams. So I believe Germany was not that great in this Euro, but it will be really a pressure in the same time for England this game.
Shubman, I know
Yeah,
you
I
want
mean,
to take on both Chinmoy and Raju, but also I'll throw you another piece of the as a devil's advocate. You look at the England Italy overall record head to head. Italy are a little more dominant. And by the way, Italy have never lost to England in a major tournament, in a major world tournament. And Raju makes a very good point about England having come across some real stiff competition. Germany, Denmark, not to question the skill set, but would they be emotionally drained as well, having endured that competition and now coming to face against Italy, who have been one of the best teams in the tournament, obviously, experienced, and you're facing them at Wembley, where even the home crowds will not show any mercy if you slip up tonight.
well, with your permission, may I ask a question to Raju
Sure, please,
before I answer?
absolutely.
You were talking about pressure, and among 4 of us, no one knows the pressure of the fans better than Raju Gaikwad, who played in a Kolkata derby at the Salt Lake Stadium. With similar conditions, 80,000, 1 lakh spectators cheering for your favorite team. So Raju can, I think, answer it better, how to reply to that and how to deal with that. If Raju can
Yeah,
answer that,
see,
I'm also going to answer.
as we have seeing, see both are the teams, Italy, England. They having great players. They are experienced players in England, Italy. Both the teams. They have, both the like Italy. We are talking about. They have played semi-final, finals in lots of tournaments. So yeah, they are experienced players. They know the value, the pressure of the game, today's night game. So yeah, as for my experience, yeah, when I started in 2010, my professional career, I started from East Bengal, and first derby when I started playing, yeah, when I was young, unexperienced, yeah, I had that pressure. Where as I was going through 2 years, 3 years, I played four, five derbies. So it's all about experience and it's all about playing continuous matches, and you will get out from that pressure. You will once you will enjoy the game. You as I know, if we enjoy the game, you will not be in the pressure anytime.
Okay, coming back to your answers, Rajeshri. First of all, uh, England had never defeated Italy in a major tournament. Keeping that thing in the mind, England never qualified in a Euro final ever before. This is the first time. So every time there is a first time. England since 1966, they have never done such things that they didn't concede a single field goal in the entire tournament. One set piece never happened in the history of English football. That's something new as well. Third point is like there
Anything is
is,
possible.
yes, exactly. This is my point. Third point, Gareth Southgate, he knows his team better than I believe the majority of the English managers as well. Today, my gut feeling is like Bukayo Saka, who has been absolutely brilliant throughout the course of the tournament, he would be benched. That is my gut feeling. The way he has drilled things around, I think Kieran Trippier will make his way in the first team. Why? Because they play in a 4-3-3 combination. We saw what Gareth Southgate did against Germany. He was identical. 3-4-3, the 3-5-2, he countered with the 3-5-2. Similar thing might happen today as well. So he knows the antidotes. He knows how to deal with the opposition tactically. I somehow believe this would be a game of, I mean, unlikely because both the teams created a lot of chances in this tournament. But this time around, both the teams would be playing very solid and they'll be very, very circumspect from the first minute of the game. I don't think this game will be settled in 90 minutes. That's something which is very, very likely because both the teams won't give it away to the opposition team to come and hurt me, especially in a big final, because it's not just about the quality, but also carrying two football traditions. And this is how we have seen the last three games as well. Similar things happen. This game will go down to the wire. I don't want this game to go to the penalties because then England will have issues, I'm sure. That pressure of Jordan Pickford between the sticks, he can't take it. But
And that is the exact reason I wanted to go down to penalties. I want to then, get that one final test for Pickford and see how he does under pressure. That will be pressure like never before. He
No,
wouldn't
I
have.
was sorry for that. I was discussing once with Sumanda about the penalties. Yeah, because I've seen penalties was there in the tournaments. So I was seeing the penalties by taken by the players, the pressure on the players. So I was talking to Sumanda about the pressure on the players, how they were casual when they're scoring in the penalties and all these things. So yeah, of course, pressure is there in the penalties. Of course, the today if it goes in the penalties, it will be a different because as you know, the Wembley will be full packed, so it will be other another pressure for the players also.
Right,
And one
right.
more thing,
Massive push.
Christian
Yeah.
Eriksen will be present tonight.
He'll be present there.
Because
He's been invited. Yes, he's going to be invited as a special guest. And I mean, it's the only thing if Denmark had qualified, what that would have meant for that moment. But
I've
Chinmay,
got 2 points.
yes, yes.
I'm ready with 2 points. Number one is Suman is hiding the face. Croatia, since they got their independence, it took just 25 years to get into a World Cup final in 2018. Why for England since 1966, 24 plus, sorry, 34 plus 21, 55 years it took to get in the second final. My God,
I
25 years. The
yeah, I
second
have
thing
my
is,
answer.
no,
I have my
I'm
answer.
coming. I'm coming. One
Yeah.
more point.
Chinmay, can you
One
hold
more
on to your
point.
second point before you answer your first one? I just because it's good that you raise these points one by one.
Yeah.
I was about to
Yes.
come to you for the very same thing that
Right.
whatever has happened with England in the past, whatever has
Right.
happened, you have to give it to Gareth Southgate. You have to give it to Harry Kane's leadership. Have to give it to the magic of Raheem
Yes.
Sterling, Jordan Pickford, all of these guys. Bukayo Saka, who Shuman has a strong gut feeling he may not play, he may not even start tonight. They have reached the final, and
Right.
if they win the trophy,
And
irrespective
and
of
with
everything,
yes, yes,
yeah,
agreed. And with
will
good
it?
support from
No,
undeclared
no, no, no,
England
no.
Football
No,
Association.
that is below the belt. Even for someone like me who is not very appreciative of the way England fans have behaved, Chinmay, I know you're biased against England, but
No,
that
no,
is
not
slightly
biased.
below
See,
the belt.
English fans. Now, Suman was defending that one rotten egg, right? It doesn't really make that a whole thing is bad. But England, it's Barmy Army English, they are very infamous. They were being banned, hooliganism, they are infamous for it. So it's very common. That will come up from England. That's expected. They will stop Gavaskar from getting into Lords. This is a lot of precedence. Okay. Now the second point is they're saying one expert said that the Wembley is now a coliseum, right? Wembley is a coliseum, and in the whole tournament, the last two gladiators survived is England and Italy. Then one person said, "Who will win?" He said that who has got more experience of a coliseum? It's in Italy, in Rome. Okay, so you know who is more experienced to battle in the Coliseum? It's Italy. It's Italy.
But at least will you give it to them that if England win this, then they are one of the top contenders for the World Cup. Whoever wins this tonight, Italy have come up from nowhere. Talk about the 2018 disappointment. England, years and years of disappointment. It's coming home. It's never come home in so many years. Even Casper Schmeichel made that under the he made that under the belt comment there, took a cheeky dig. Will it mean that England have finally arrived? Forget everything that has happened in the past. Under Gareth Southgate, this team definitely settled and is one for the future, Chinmay. Even with your views on England football and England fans, this is you got to give it to them. They have finally arrived under a very young team there, this young formation, and they're finally there. Look at the Italians. We talked to
No,
Raju about
see, I
Yeah,
fully
one
appreciate the way you turned it around, but first it is Suman. He has to rebut, right? He has to rebut. Number one is why it took so many years. Okay, now fine. You tell me they are the dominant side. And one more thing I have to say, one more thing. Because in the morning I raised the issue about Copa, difference between Copa and Euro, where the Euro gets so much of hype and all these things about. Nobody can ignore when Maradona raised that voice in 1990, that certain section does dominate. There is no denying in it. So English Premier League, the richest league in the world, some dominance, some interference is there. Otherwise, for nothing, undeclared England Football Association comes from nowhere. Okay,
yeah.
so you have to answer it. Why it happens?
Okay, firstly, the question which you raised regarding England, and the Croatia reference. Honestly, I mean, if you ask me on a technical perspective, England have always been a team with great individuals. Let it be 1998, 2002, 2006, 2010, 2014. England have been a team with galaxy of individual superstars. And football, in modern day football, it's not at all an individual game. One Maradona cannot win you a title these days. It's a team game. And if you want to play individual sport, you go and play tennis. Simple. Since 2018, England started playing team football. You cannot identify a single superstar in this particular English side. which you easily could do. I mean, till 2012. If you say one, Harry Kane, one Jadon Sancho, one Jack Grealish would be 150 million, perhaps 120 million, perhaps. The market price this season is sitting on the bench. One Bukayo Saka, who doesn't get regular chance in Arsenal, he's making his way to the first team every now and then. That means it's the demand of the tactics which is coming as a priority. And that is the reason why this English side is totally different. Whatever happened, happened. This England team, since 2018, they are a new unit altogether. They are playing as a team for the first time. The team is the star, like Germany have always done. First. Second point, domination.
Why did they play only one away match in Ukraine? They played all their matches at home. Only one match in against Ukraine. Why?
Sorry, gentlemen, let the final be played out tonight. I know both of you are very passionate about this point, but let this final be played out tonight because we're already almost 45 minutes into the show.
I will ask Raju to settle the debate because he is the expert. So which favor? Because you are the devil's advocate, Raju will decide.
So as Suman has said about the team, as they started playing in 2018 as a team, I believe you have seen before that also great players was there in England, and individually they were really good players was there. So it's all about football is not about individual game, as Suman has said. It's all about team game. As we have seen Denmark, Hungary, and lots of team, they had played as a team, and that's why they have been given a good game for other like Italy, France, and Portugal. So it's all about team game. It was really happy seeing England playing as a team, and it will be good for them in Qatar World Cup. It will be making lots of difference.
But do you think that Southgate has, before we we will never find a closure to this debate, and this debate has been ongoing on Sports Today between Chinmoy and Shumo, and of course Chirag has had his views. This debate is never going to get its closure, but we'll try and get some word from you before we move into the predictions. Do you think Gareth Southgate's presence has made that transition easier as well? He himself has been a star, much more understated than a lot of modern footballers probably. If you see his trajectory as a young footballer, the talented powerhouse, but much more understated than some of the modern footballers that you see around in Europe, especially. His presence and his leadership has how much of a difference do you think has that made around these things, around this team?
Of course, coach has made a difference because as Suman has told, from 2018 they have been playing as a team game. So I believe, we also, as myself also, we are playing in a major tournament in India, ISL, in national teams. So I have been in different types of coaches, under coaches. So coaches, I believe they make a difference. It's all about players. They are playing in the field, but for coaches in a technical part and bringing a team together and the atmosphere in the dressing room, on the field, it's all about, I believe, coach make a difference in that.
Yeah. Right. Before we move to the predictions, since Raju is here, sometimes we don't speak about a lot about players like Immobile, Lorenz Insomnia, but these guys have been just brilliant again for Italy, right? We're talking about Kileni, we're talking about Bonucci, their role in defense, but these two have been superb for Italy as well. Before we go to the predictions, Raju, a word of on these two from you and the impact that they've had on this campaign for the Italians.
So as we have said about Messi, Cristiano, and Ronaldo. So it's about Bonucci and Chiellini also, because maybe this will be their last Euro and maybe last World Cup. So I believe it will be a great thing for them also, excitement also for them also, for both of them. And it is very, I believe it's very tough for me, but Suman is thinking England will win. But I believe, I believe it will be a really tough game for England against Italy. It's really tough. My heart says Italy, but I want England because they are in Wembley, they are in England, and it will be a great festival, as Suman has said. So yeah, it's a very tough decision for me. They think.
We have a three-way draw here. Shuman clearly England. Raju says head over heart. He probably, his heart says Italy. His head says England because of Wembley and other factors involved. Chinmay, do I even need to ask you? Just give me the score prediction.
Yeah, I just add because I will take 30 seconds. See, in Italy, it is Gazzetta dello Sport, one paper of major, prominence. In England, Mirror, Independent, the Times, the Telegraph, it goes on, the Sun, all these are full of England, right? Then, as you say, 60,000. So, is it a pressure mounting on them? And some legends say that they enjoy the pressure. When the pressure comes in the situation, they perform. Is it there in England? That's a question. And as I said, it's the pressure of the press, the crowd, and expectation that builds on the English players. Very inexperienced side, very well. I mean, it's well balanced, superb. But then the experience of Italy, plus being used to playing in the Coliseum, as I said, that will make a difference. So I would suggest that Italy, less words are spoken on Italy. You in the discussion also, time and again, Gareth Southgate, you seldom spoke about Roberto Mancini. I was just calculating how much such times even our presenter is
spoken about. We have also
very few words are spoken on Roberto Mancini.
We've also spoken about Chiellini and Bonucci on the impact
No,
that they
that's
have
the
in
defenders. What about
Immobile
the coach? What about the coach I'm talking about? So many
yeah.
We were really very eloquent in our praise on Gareth Southgate, but the way Mancini has transformed the side, very little was spoken of it about it. And so they say that there is a saying, your action speaks for itself. Okay, you don't need to say, you just go out in the park and perform. I think Mancini has educated. I mean, he has grilled the boys like that. Go and speak. Let your ball talk in the park. I think that's the word.
That's been the statement of the Italians as well. That's been the
Okay. As I promised,
Shuman, before we close.
Take tomorrow for an English breakfast. We'll enjoy together. Don't worry.
I'll tell you what. We're going to come back. We're going to come back straight after the final tonight. We'll come back straight after the final tonight because it's a Euro final. I know we've been doing shows we've been previewing the games, reviewing the games the day after. But tonight, since it's the Euro final, we'll come back straight after, and of course, we'll all have plenty to say, I'm sure, depending on where England and Italy are headed. And it's a very important point that Chinmay made. You're not talking a lot about the Italian management. It's also because of the understated way that they have carried themselves around. But then, Chinmay, I think we all agree that's the nature of English football. It's also a little more flamboyant. That you seem to talk a little more about the management, and as well for Italy, you're talking about the war horses like Immobile and Bonucci and Insigne and Chiellini, who've been just phenomenal across for the Italians.
Don't forget Barella. He would be a very important player tonight.
Absolutely important.
Well done, Shuman. Some appreciation for an Italian player.
Some appreciation for the Italians, but we'll finally see a lot of this debate whether England win or whether even if they lose, will they lose the traction that they have come up with so far in Euro 2020. We've gone at it for nearly 1 hour. Thank you so much, Raju Gaikwad, for joining us on this show. Shuman, throughout the Euro, as Chinmay has been the backbone of our chat shows on Sports Today. He's just been around with his views, very passionate, very, very fun getting this difference and this, these neatly little debates between Chinmay and Shuman. So hopefully we'll get a little more of that depending on how the game shapes up. And Raju Gaikwad, we'd absolutely love for you to come back on Sports Today soon enough. So you see that prediction, nobody wants to put their neck on the line with exact score predictions, but England for some, head over heart matters for some others. So we'll figure it out. This Euro final does need a great anticlimax, a great anticlimactic finish to what has been a stupendous tournament. This has been one of the best Euros in my memories over the last several years of covering the sport. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports Today, Shuman, Chinmay, Raju, and of course all of you with your comments. Do subscribe, do support our platform. And this was a slightly longer show because we wanted to get in all facets of Italy versus England, which is set to get underway in exactly 3.5 hours from now at Wembley Stadium. Well, it's going to be a cracker, hopefully. We'll come back with more right after that game. And of course, I'll get back to you with what happens in Wimbledon, whether Djokovic is going to get that title, and how it unfolds at Centre Court. I'll come back to you shortly. Do subscribe to the channel and keep supporting the channel. Thank you. Have a good evening.